Hello, 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 everybody. Can you hear me? Another beautiful day on the Good Servant channel with the Good Servant Show. Let me get Tom and we'll get started. Good morning, Tom. How are you doing today? Welcome to the show.
Hey, you got to reintroduce me and get a little different piece of music for me as you bring me in, baby. Come
All
on,
right, all right.
come on,
Here's the
do it right,
man right
baby.
here.
Do
Here's
it
the
right,
man.
baby.
Here.
Yeah.
That's smooth, man.
Hello. You got to
All
do a
right,
little
let me.
something for her face too.
I know. Wait. What can we use? Maybe
Something
this
a little
one
more
here.
upbeat for her.
Oh, dance pop.
Yeah, get her some dance pop as we bring her in.
That's a little weird. No, that's a little funky. Man, how come they don't give us more options? How about this one?
Oh
Oh, this
yeah.
should have been your music right here. This one's like.
I need that on one of my fishing videos.
Right, right.
I got to get new videos up now, bro. But they're all gone.
Oh, it's crazy. I want to add Faith to the show.
Hang on
If
before we
she could
do.
click on. Oh, I
Get
made
that
Cindy
music going,
Blue.
baby.
If she's in there. Yeah.
Oh, is she not in backstage yet?
No, I don't see her back there.
I'll tell her to
Is there
get
any?
back there.
I gave her the thing, the link. Sometimes she's good. She waits until I'm done with the intro or whatever, and then she'll click on it.
Okay.
She got lost on the way to the Good Servant show. It's all right though. I like. Oh, there she is. There she is. Well, the notification sometimes doesn't go out. I get that. I get that. So here she is. Just click on it, Faith, and you'll be all good. Yeah, man. I'm excited, man. It's Monday. I left the weekend open to have a certain guest on, and it kind of didn't work out. Like things weren't like lining up, and so I kind of did a lot of it on my own, and it's always good to like. I don't know. I always feel like on the spot. It's hard to have something to say, man, for 45 minutes, man, two
Right.
times a day, and it's like, man, I'm so happy to have you guys on here, and it makes it so easy, man, and so natural. And of course I appreciate it. Here's Faith. Let me get her on here. Oh, she's pointing right now. All right. Hello, Faith. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good
Oh,
morning.
are you doing some kind of sign or something? Oh no, it's just your thumb.
Just a
I thought
thumbs
you were going to be teasing me or something today.
up. Oh,
Yeah.
Tom sent me my old avatar, and I was like, I'm changing that because I didn't like the hearts around my head
Right. I
Yeah.
know, right?
because I know what it means, so I changed it.
Well, I didn't know that. What do the hearts mean? What is that?
Well, it's just another occultic thing, so I just
Isn't
that's
it crazy, man? How everything is freaking
Dude,
occultic now?
all those young kids, that's what they're doing now is they put like the little Mickey Mouse cartoony ears and stuff and
Yeah.
fake eye, the
yeah.
fake ears, eyes, eyebrows, and little thing like horns basically on their head. Man, that's so freaking retarded. I can't stand it.
Oh yeah. Well, sometimes it's like people will do a picture, right? And they offer you these options, right, where you can like, thin out your jaw and like, puff your cheeks up, right? And it's like if somebody has like, a little bit of body dysmorphia, right? They will like, make their face look not even real, and you're like, wow, like is that what you think that looks good? Like you looked fine before. Like when they give you the option to change how you look, that really can mess with you. You know what I mean? It could really mess with you psychologically.
Right. It's they're changing their image.
Ooh, when you said image there, it hit
Yeah.
my spirit.
Yeah.
The
But it's
image
like
of the beast.
why would you want to do that? Because then if you say you meet someone online, then you meet them in real life, they don't even look the way they look online.
I know it. I know it. It's like,
Ew.
hey, your picture looks like you're 15, or something.
But what it is,
Right.
Steve, is it makes them look like the little girls or little kids. It's the Mickey Mouse Club thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's how
You're
I perceive it
right.
anyways. You know, I mean, you got 40, 50-year-olds on these sites having that stuff, and it's like, are you
Yeah,
kidding me? You're
yeah,
not a little girl anymore. Grow up, man. Be a woman. Be a godly Christian woman and start taking care of stuff. Take care of
yeah.
biz, man.
Take care of
Yeah,
business, baby.
God, you know.
that's crazy to me. Like
Uh,
they have these apps where you can either be a little girl or a
Yep.
little old lady. I'm like, do you not realize that they're just practicing for facial recognition here?
Oh, could be that too,
Oh, it
man.
sure
There's a
is.
lot. But they want to degrade they want to degrade our because we're made in the image of God, right? They want us to naturally, not like how we look, and to change that. And God was very intentional with how He made us, right? If I'm a gross little guy, well, then this is what God made, you know what I mean? Like this is the way He wanted me, and
One of
so
my
to
friends, one
cheat,
of one of
go
my
ahead.
friends, single girlfriends, she did the little girl facial thing, and she got a bunch of dudes hitting on her. I was like, do you not understand? These guys are liking you because you look like a little girl. Like,
Right. And
how gross is that?
it's really promoting pedophilia because it makes you think,
Yeah,
okay, well, she's older, but she acts like a little kid or she looks like a little kid. I
Right.
mean, and then you get the next sick person who, well, the older people want to be little girls. So what's wrong with this little girl? I mean, it's mentally,
Yep.
subconsciously, it affects the psyche of people. It doesn't, if born again Christians who recognize this, but that's what it's
right,
trying to do is make it okay to have for little girls or little boys to be sexual, and it's disgustingly gross, and
Absolutely.
those people deserve to really die.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got 2 daughters, so trust me when I say that. I'm not just saying it to blow smoke. Let
yeah.
someone hurt one of my daughters, and they're fully
Yeah.
grown. You see me on the nightly news.
Yeah. It's ugh.
I mean, that's the problem. Husbands and wives, moms and dads aren't standing up and protecting their little kids. You know, we need to do that.
Well, it's getting
Absolutely.
fewer and fewer people are able to discern like this kind of stuff, right? Like people just kind of go with it because they're slowly been assimilated to it. Like we notice it, but they probably don't even notice there is a problem. I mean, it's crazy, man.
Right. Like my girlfriend didn't even think of that until I told her, and she was like, "Oh, get ew! I wouldn't want to be with a dude that was sexually attracted to a little girl." And I
Well,
was like,
and
"You have to think of these things, hon."
yeah, and think about this. What 30, 40, 50-year-old wants to date someone whose avatar or whatever you call them things got little cute little Mickey Mouse ears and a bunny nose, and I mean really?
Yeah,
I mean when
yeah,
you're 12 it might be cute. You know what
right,
I'm
right.
saying?
Like if you're in like a middle school or something like that, or high school,
Yeah, by the
Right.
time you're
even that's too old, to be really doing that kind of thing,
to be attracted
I
to a
mean,
female cartoon, that's what it is. Yeah, that's disgusting.
I understand people wanting to like, maybe be silly once in a while or something like that, but you're right. It becomes a regular thing for people. Like it's like every time they take a picture of themselves, they got the nose or the ears or they smooth out the face. Have you ever seen that where it's almost like I seen this what was it? It's like a meme, right? Where it had Yoda and his face was all smooth, and it was like, don't do this to your pictures. We know what you look like.
Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
it actually, and it looks, you can tell it's fake. It's almost looks like a AI when
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I knew that okay, there's this one channel that I watch once in a while, and I won't say her name or anything, but like, she just like has like a live stream just to hang out and just talk. It's just kind of her way of processing things, right? She likes to be on the phone, that kind of thing, right? And so I go over there once in a while, and she does do that to her face, to real smooth and the eyes a color that's not even real, you know. And I'm like, man, you know, she's not a bad looking, you know, not a bad looking lady. You know, if she just took a picture of herself, she'd be straight up, you know, she'd be all right.
She's got issues.
Yeah, that I mean to have a picture that looks that unreal, then yeah, I'd have to say yes.
Yeah.
Definitely issues. Yeah.
Because you're trying to be someone you're not. You know, if someone isn't attracted to you, unless you make yourself look like that, well, once you wake
Yeah.
up in the morning and they see that you really don't look like that, what do you think's gonna happen? Now you just confused.
Yeah,
You know, who
you don't
finds
want to
someone
see
that
me in
finds
the
you
morning.
attractive for what you look like at 5 a.m.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's crazy, man.
But that's
Yeah, I
just
guess
the
you're
facts,
right,
man.
man. Well, I mean, well, a lot of people do that, right? Like they, you know, everybody does that, I think, to a degree, right? Like, got to clean yourself up a little bit or whatever for people to, I don't know, man.
Well,
Like,
that's one thing. Cleaning yourself up is one thing, but to pretend you're 22 years old when you're 50,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I
I
mean,
gotta get my real
and you
image.
guys know the difference, right? I mean, you can see the difference when, I mean, there's,
Yeah, I had to get my real image so people know what I really look like.
yeah, is that really you,
I'm not
Steve?
hiding anything. Of
That's my dog
Nice.
course,
right
I'm
there,
good.
boy.
Of course, I'm ugly in the morning, but you know, it's all good.
I know I get bigs underneath my eyes.
Well, hey, you never know when you're being catfished around here, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, there's sometimes right where you know sometimes people are just an avatar and just typing, right? You never hear their voice, you never see their face, right? Some people don't know how other people even sound. Yet we have a relationship with these people because this is kind of how we hang out, right? And it's getting more and more like we're getting more and more used to hanging out online, right? Whereas, you know, we grew up with like, you know, half of our life, right? We didn't have internet or more, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, we went outside and played with a stick or climbed a tree or, you know, picked up a
Well,
frog.
yeah, that's why I like when you have other people on because, like, oh, that's what Luke sounds like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just nice to hear their voice.
It
I
is
like I like having people on here. That way it's like people get to know each other, you know?
personal.
Exactly.
I mean, because a lot of times when people type in the chat, and normally they're just easy to understand chats, but sometimes someone might say something and without knowing or hearing the tone of their voice, things can be taken wrong. And you see that happen lots. I mean, and especially in our own personal lives when we're texting a friend or a loved
Yeah.
one or something like that, all of a sudden you get a text back like, why would they send me that? Oh, they
Yeah.
must have, you call and say, hey, this is what I meant. And they're like, oh, okay.
It even happens between Rick and I. Like he'll text me something
Absolutely.
we're like, "Why the heck did he text me that?" And then I'll call him and he'll say, "I meant this." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
and if he was there, you'd have known by the tone of his voice what he meant.
yeah, exactly." Like
And
I
that's
said,
another
like I said to you, Tom, that picture you sent, Rick asked me yesterday, "Do you want something for Valentine's Day?" I gave him that look, like,
oh,
"What's wrong with you?" And he
no,
knew the answer just by the look.
right, and that's another thing that's happening to these little children that when they're got masks on and the people around them, the adults have masks on, is they can't make the words out clearly or the
Oh,
tone even correctly. So you
yeah,
got all that playing into they can't read your lips, and you wonder why they have all these speech impediments right now, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. But
yeah,
then
it's
they'll have
awful.
drugs for them, so then
But see, and that all plays into it because they don't want children seeing the faces of even their friends because then you can go in the meta and read their faces there.
hmm the fake
They,
ones.
they are definitely gonna get people to go in there. They
Yeah,
are.
because they're trying to make this real outside world look so crappy and so miserable that why not go
Mhm.
live in the meta?
Well, think about this, right?
There's utopia there.
Well,
AKA the Disney World,
well,
right?
think about this, right? Video games are a humongous industry, huge, right?
Mhm.
And you know, it's going to get kids to want to be in there just to play games already, right? Because
Yeah,
kids are already playing a lot of video games, right? And not only that, but even adult men. I don't play
Hmm.
video games, but I know a lot of adult men do. You know, they just keep playing them all into their adulthood, right? And then like you add on top of it, right? Like how the internet really blew up, right? Was video games, computer games, and then perversion, right? Then you
Yep.
got porn and all this other stuff. And if you assimilated people from when they're young, right, to be in there through their adolescence, right, they're gonna form a structure in there, right? Like this next generation will only look at that as being reality, and what we're doing is weird.
Well, like I said, Stephen, about the Super Bowl, what I saw was everyone in boxes, just little boxes, and they had all these boxes. It looked like black boxes, but they all formed a cube, and they
Is this
had
the halftime, Faith?
yeah the
Okay.
halftime, and they had Dre Day typed on each box, each cardboard box, which Dre Day means 33.
Yeah.
And all these people were dressed in black and they're just standing there in these tiny cubes. And I'm like, all I can think is this is how they want us. They want us in these tiny little cubes, just stuck in the meta. Like that's all
Boxed
I
in,
saw.
yeah.
Of
It's
course, it
so
was all this
scary.
Freemasonic symbolism and all that, but it was just like that's how they want everyone. They
And
want
think
everyone
about like
included in a
Because you're
tiny
in
little
your own
box.
little world, right? That's your own little world,
Yes,
your space.
exactly. They don't want
well,
us interacting. They don't want us talking because they know when we start talking, we start figuring things out.
well, someone told me that you can even go like once you have your personality downloaded in there, you know, you can split your personality up in almost 30 ways and just hang out with different versions of you. Now that's got to be super weird, man. Like, you know,
Right?
like all the different like moods that you are in or whatever. I mean, I can imagine
And even
like
and
to
one of
me that blows my mind, right?
I don't know how I would do with 30. How many did you say? 30 of me?
30, yeah. I mean, that would blow
30
my
ways.
mind,
Could you
man, to
imagine?
like have all those different like versions of yourself. You would have to be a severe narcissist to want to do that, man. Like, you know,
Right?
I can understand maybe split yourself into two or something, but I don't even know how that would even work, man. Because even that's mind blowing to me.
I'm
I think I could benefit from two faiths, but as long as we never met. Like this faith
Right, as
does the
long as we
laundry,
never
this
met.
does the dishes. You two don't talk.
Yeah, I can hang out with Two Face as long as we never met. That's awesome.
Hi Shannon, I
That
saw you.
that would have been the comment of the day if you would have typed it.
I can
Yeah,
handle
hey
two things.
Shannon, how
I
you
can handle
doing?
you.
Luke is here. Luke said I look young for my age. Well, thank you. I don't know what
uh,
that means. No, I do
Listen,
know what that means. I'm
they do
40.
know that you're only 24, right?
I know it. I'm aging in dog years, man. You kidding? I'm 24, dude. No, I'm gonna be 45 this year, man.
Ancient,
Yeah, I don't care though.
ancient.
like a dinosaur, man,
Like a dinosaur.
hmm
a dragon.
But I mean, like lately, like okay, so I'm feeling at peace, right? I feel happy as I've ever felt in my life, right? I'm full of joy. I'm like excited about like the idea of God coming back, right? I am pumped up, right? There's nothing negative inside me at all, no bad feelings, none of that. I'm not sad, I'm not depressed or anything. But I'm starting to feel like God is putting this hate between me and the world, even though I'm not unhappy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want any of it. The only thing I care about is people making it out with my kids being at the top of the list.
Yeah. It's a
That's
definite
all
desire
I care
to
about.
get out of the world.
Do you guys feel that too? Like a hate for like what's going on in the,
Yeah. I can
you
legit
know?
Absolutely.
I hate this world. I do. I hate it. Like I don't hate the people in the world, but I hate this world. It's
Right? There's
trash.
nothing
Like,
enjoyable anymore, right? I mean, it's not the same.
I feel
Yeah.
like I'm getting mocked all the time. Like people are like celebrating their nastiness and then mocking us, you
Mhm.
know? And
Yeah, they're spreading
I
perversion everywhere, and it's like, I
right,
see
well,
it, and it's no, I don't want that.
I think about like the entertainment, right? And all this stuff that's like, that's there for us to, pass time, right? But it's really like I just feel like it's just more celebration, more them identifying themselves for who they are, right? And there's fewer and fewer of us, almost to the point where there's almost none of us out there, and it's scary to me in that sense. And so this is what's crazy, right? Is that a lot of people that troll me, right? They think of what like my mission is that I'm here and I'm gonna get sheep, and somehow them trolling me is keeping me from doing that or whatever. But it's my real mission is to be here for those trolls. Like this is their this is their last chance. I don't know how to explain that to anybody, but like there is no other sheep except for the trolls. you know, they
Well,
provide all the
I can
people,
understand
and
what he's saying
yeah, right. But
because
like, how do I explain
Jesus
that to people?
Jesus came not for, he came for sinners.
The
That's
lost.
right.
He came for the
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I'm trying to do, but I don't think they know it. You know what I mean? And it's like you might think you're stopping me from getting to sheep, but you're the sheep. Like you would be the shaking sheep that barely makes it, right? That God will rejoice for, God
Right.
will rejoice
Yeah.
in heaven if you make it. But if you don't, there's going to be no excuse. I mean, if God sent you to me, man, I'm the most patient, million chances kind of guy, right? If people
Yeah.
don't get it through here, I don't know what's gonna happen.
And
I
that's
mean,
bad
you're
because
not
you
gonna
know how easy I'll oil up my wrench. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, yeah, yeah. Tom will handle business, man. Get you out of here, man. If you have an attitude,
And
but
I've gotten better at that though, just because you're right. I mean, the ones that are in here causing turmoil, them are the ones we're planting seeds into. They don't
yeah,
know it
because
yet, but
they
the seeds
don't.
are being planted.
Right. Exactly.
They don't realize that it's them. Like I mean, when this life is over, right, or at least when this grace period runs out, right? Because that's how we're getting saved by faith, grace through faith, right? Um, it's gonna sink in. It's gonna sink into them, like, oh man, wow, this wasn't a LARP, man.
Right. And
Right.
like I said, even if you, I don't want to say fail, but don't win them over, you're at least you can say, I'm doing what the Lord wants me to do.
That's it. That's
Exactly.
it.
And that's all you
Yeah,
can do.
And that's all yeah, because we can't save
that's
anyone.
right.
We can
No.
only hey, be like, hey, Jesus is here. He wants
Well,
you.
well, that's the reason, right? Why at the end of the show, I say it's time to hit the dusty trail, because I have a character flaw where I don't know when to kick the dust off my feet and carry on, right? Sometimes I'll work on somebody way too long, right? And I need to start learning how to kick the dust and let God. I mean, because God creates all the believers. That's what happens. It's between them and God, and that's a moment that's special for them. I have very little to do with anything on this earth.
Well, here's the
If I,
thing, and if you
you
do
know,
push and try too hard, it usually works in reverse and it pushes people away. But
it does.
when you just do it with love and end it at that, and don't cram nothing down anybody's throat, that's when
Yeah.
it kind of seems to sink in and people seem to ponder on what's been said to them. I mean, you just preach the gospel and then you move on from there, and God will do
Almost
the
just
work.
like almost just like just live your life, and if they see your joy, they'll want to be part of it or something.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Because they'll see that you were legit. I mean, if anytime you keep forcing stuff, it just causes resentment, and then they're so frustrated they don't want nothing to do with you or want to even hear nothing. Where if you just say something peacefully and leave it at that, a lot of times that seems to be a little bit more effective.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it might be like down the road, right? Like a year or two down the road. I don't know if we have that much time now, but
But that's
but
not
it's
our
like
choice. You know,
that's right.
and you don't know if it's a year or two or if it's 3 days or that night.
Yeah,
I mean, you never know. I
that
mean, that's none of our business when it happens. That's between them and
that's
God.
right.
Once you,
That's a
Absolutely.
great point. That's a great point, Tom. It's none of our business, you know. What do you think,
and
Faith? Oh, sorry.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, okay, good. I felt like I was stepping
Sorry.
on your comments.
No, I was checking on my wash.
uh,
Wasn't that
doing
going on?
doing dirty laundry.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's important
that's a
though.
Oh,
song.
Tom doesn't know. Tom doesn't know. My daughter has lice.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're doing
poor
all the
little
bedding
bugger.
and stuff. We had to do the
I
treatment.
told her to I told her to burn everything, you know.
No.
Just put everything in a pile outside and burn
Take it
it.
all to the fire pit.
The idea of little bugs freaks me out. It freaks me out. Like my house might not be the cleanest, right? But there's not gonna be, you know, these little lice
Oh,
in
you're
there.
breaking up
It's
bad,
the
brother.
eggs I worry about. It's those eggs, man. That's what freaks me out, man. The eggs.
Yeah, it took a long time. Oh,
So you've been busy
'Cause-
lately, Faith.
yeah.
Sorry about
well,
that.
then you
Her
gotta
hair is so thick too, so
well, you
it
gotta
took a
get the
long.
cat too. You gotta get
Yeah,
the
I
cat with
know.
that comb. Yeah,
We had to keep the cat away from her and all that, and that's her baby.
yeah, that's so sad. I
Yeah,
would get
we
that
put
little
him in the guest
special comb.
room.
You know, did you get the one that was like electric? You know, that went zzz, and you know every time you comb one out, or did you just
Oh,
get the
no,
regular comb?
just the regular, really fine
Oh, see, I
comb.
would have got that stun gun. That's the stun gun comb. Get the cat. Bring that cat over here.
No, I'm not gonna shave my cat. Okay,
That would be
don't kick me
horrible,
out.
right?
Don't kick me out.
You're,
I promise. I'm not gonna shave my cat.
yeah. Well, you definitely don't want to do it like in Wisconsin or Indiana or wherever you're from. I forget where you're from. Iowa?
I'm in Iowa. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is it cold out there?
He's a
Oh,
Hawkeye.
yeah. It's
Oh,
cold.
is that what that is? A Hawkeye?
Hawkeyes. Yeah.
What's a California? What are we, like a bear? We got a bear on our flag or something? I don't know what we are.
Panda bear.
The
Oh
golden, the
no.
golden, the golden state, I guess they call us.
The city of angels, man.
Oh my God, man! Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I don't like that place at all. You can
Oh
almost
my God.
feel the depravity, you know.
So
Bet.
they held the Super Bowl at the Sophia Stadium,
Yeah,
the in the City of Angels, which is, come on, it's the
Hmm.
Fallen Angels, and then the Sophia what is it, AI thingy.
right.
Like
I know,
she
and the spirit, Sophia, that they
she was
say.
so called there.
Right,
Like,
no, but listen to this. Listen to this. The Sophia, spirit of Sophia, they say created our creator, right? Which is the demiurge, right? This is their Gnostic Satanist crap, right? And
yeah.
then, right, check this out, right? The quarterback used to be a lion, like a roaring lion. He's seeking who he can devour, and then he's on the team of Rams with the horns, right? And the MVP was Cup. His last name was Cup. So they filled the cup. They filled the cup of iniquity. I mean, there's so much symbolism just in that stuff, right?
Hey,
Let alone, well, go
hey,
ahead.
after you brought that up, I gotta ask Faith something about that because she's seen the halftime. I didn't watch it. How,
I
Yeah,
didn't
me
watch.
neither.
how did that turn out when they put Tupac's thing in there?
I didn't actually watch it. I
Oh,
woke up.
oh,
Yeah, I woke up this morning and there was like 5 channels that had did some breaking down of it.
okay, because they
So
had
I'm not.
him, the hologram of him. I heard.
I
I
didn't.
wonder if I wonder if Bubble will have a video about it. I'm not sure. I know that Hacking the Headlines had one.
Yeah, I watched hers. She did a pretty good job,
Mm,
I think.
yeah, I didn't get to it yet.
Yeah, she did a pretty good job. She showed what was it, Dr. J and Snoop on top of the cube, and then they put their arms in the crucifix position, and then they point down, and it shows 50 Cent hanging upside down, dressed in white with red surrounding him. I'm just
As
like,
above,
oh,
so below.
sick.
Well, hey, look, Luke says that there's 6 people watching, but a suggested video called Bathroom Pranks has 600 people watching. People are watching Bathroom Pranks, but the Good Servant Show gets 6 viewers, you know? But we got the best people here, so I'm
We
happy
do.
about that. Yeah.
We definitely
Because
do.
wasn't it like, I forget what story it was in the Bible where they were saying there's only 1 out of 1,000 were good. Well, none of the men, but out of the women, 1 out of 1,000 were good, or something like that. I forget what story that was. But out of 600, how many?
Where's that
How
out of?
many? I forget what the story was. I hate doing that.
A Bible
Sure.
story?
Yeah, like they were saying, one out of 1,000 women were good, and no men were good. I
Oh,
forget what story it was. I'll look it up. It's easy word searches.
yeah. The only scripture that comes to my mind is "There's no one righteous, no, not one."
Yeah.
That's
That's
in
the only
Roman.
one I know like
Right?
that,
Yeah.
off the top of my head. Anyways, not saying the other one doesn't exist.
Great.
No, it's an Old Testament story. Old Testament story. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
I hear you, bruv.
I'm a goof, man.
I'm thinking what comes to
Sorry
my
about that.
mind. What comes to my mind is the virgins. Like there's half of the virgins
Oh, that's in the Gospels, yeah.
were unclean, the other half were clean. I'm not sure. Something.
Or they had oil. No,
Oh yeah,
one half
oil.
had oil to stay up
Yeah,
at night.
half neglected to keep their lamps full, and the other half
Yeah.
kept them full, and they were accepted. Something.
Because a lot of people use that. A lot of people use half a verse, right, when they say, we don't know the day or the hour, right? But the top half of that verse is keep watch because we don't know the day or the hour. He will come like a thief in the night.
And that's
You
what
know,
it's all about: being prepared.
Hmm.
right? Not just saying, oh, we don't know the day or the hour. Let's just live our lives, and we got to keep watch, and be prepared, and like
Keep looking
treat
up.
treat treat every generation as if this is the last generation, and try to get everybody as to Jesus for salvation as possible,
Be vigilant.
or at least let them know the good news. I mean, to me, I can't think of, like, if you tell somebody, hey, I did like a ton of research over a lot of years, and I found out that God was real. And the deal is that okay, we got to pay for like all the bad stuff we did, but He's gonna do it, and so we're off the hook. I mean, that's a pretty good deal, man. Like, I don't see the problem with that. Like, why would anyone reject that? Especially with all the confirmation that we have now. It's unbelievable, right? I mean, it's not like 30 years ago where we got a lot less confirmation. We could show how these people are evil and all together now,
Absolutely.
And so I just it baffles me, man. It just baffles me. There should be people lining up in droves, man. I don't know, man. It's crazy to me because it was never hard for me to accept that.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I found out God was real, it was the greatest day of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
But not everybody comes to it that quick. I mean, I was like you when I did. I mean, but eventually it'll come if people are searching the truth. And that's why we just got to keep preaching that word. And when they're ready, God will call them and they'll accept and they'll answer that knock at the door and they'll be one of us,
Yeah.
become our brother and sister. That's huge, man.
Well, what gets me, like more than just like the stories and the prophecy and the past history, all the stuff that's accurate in the Bible, right? It's all accurate. History, the present, the verses that you use now, and the prophecies of the future coming true exactly the way they say. But above all that, right, is these little things like, oh, the names mean something all the way up to when Jesus was born, right? It spells a message, and these codes that go, that spell Torah one way on the Bible, and then the other books spell Torah backwards, And it's like, I mean, those things you can't. Those are just little things that aren't even expected to be in there. that you can't really fake. I mean, it's a fingerprint, you know?
Right.
It's these little things, right? Like these, like someone did a word search in the Bible. They were just going to study a word, and it was a stick. And it, like, I mean, it was just amazing, this word search. Um, and every time the word was used, right, it was used one way, and then there was one anomaly, right, that proved the way that they used it the other times, and every word was like that. There wasn't a word that was used like two different ways the whole way. It was all one way except for one anomaly with every word.
That's insane, hey?
It's
Yeah.
insane. That's why they were saying KJV was the best Bible over the other translations that they made from the Alexandria transcripts, right? All the the NIV and all that stuff. They said because it's not the perfect word of God like the KJV, because it has all these different things in it that make it special. You know, that's above and beyond just what it is. You know,
Right.
Hmm.
and I think that's just amazing to me. I mean, like how could you not see that magic and see these things coming true, right? Like all this confirmation, right? And not want to be part of that. We're like divine creations that we're descendants of God, right? We're related to God.
Right. We're his
Yeah.
children.
And yeah, man, this is insane, man. What? But why aren't there more people that want to be here? You know?
Because God says that's how it's going to be.
No, you're right about that.
You
Yeah.
know? I mean, we're
That's
never
true.
going to know that answer, but he does.
I just feel so like unworthy, like like man, like what? How did I find out about that? Like how did I like? Why am I the one now that knows what to do or whatever? Like why aren't you know what I mean? Why isn't it just so? Because there's so many times in life I could have been tricked, like that I would have gone the other way if you offered me a bunch of stuff,
Right.
You're one of the elect.
Yeah, exactly. Good way. That's a good way to put it right there.
Wow,
That's
that's
spot on, Faith.
that's
Isn't
humbling,
that
Spot on.
amazing feeling? Is that feels amazing to me. Like, wow, you thought I was good enough to elect me. Wow.
And it's not even that we're good enough. He chose us.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly. Yeah,
I mean,
right.
even when it comes down to that,
Right.
just lucky. Many are called, but few are chosen, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
That's the amazing part. And I
yeah.
think about that too. What why? Why was I chosen? But I'm
Hmm.
glad I was. Hoy.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's weird because it's like all it takes is a free will decision, right? Like you just have to choose God, and trust
Right.
Him, and trust what He did for us on the cross. Because He didn't like how Jesus came and said, "No, no, no, we're not here to change the law, right? I'm not letting you off the hook. I'm taking your position. I'm taking your punishment. We're gonna fulfill this law, and once I fulfill it, it's finished.
Right.
We're not gonna change one thing on the contract, not one tittle, not one, it's basically like saying not one dot on an I, not one cross on a T. We're not changing none of that, not one jot, not one tittle, he said.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that means a lot, I mean, that means a lot, meaning that like in the beginning, God said, if you sin, you will surely die. And that needed to be reconciled, and God took that wrath upon himself.
That he
It's a
did,
beautiful, it's a beautiful story. I don't know.
and we definitely didn't deserve it,
No.
Mm.
and yet he did it anyways. That's the miracle.
It's love, right? When you see your baby born, right? You're like, man, I would die for that kid.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And that's exactly what it is for him, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you're God, right, you can create whatever you want. I mean, this is all his stuff, right? Like he could create a world where, he's like the biggest celebrity all the time, right? Like he can have all of this whenever he wants, right? He didn't. It's not a what that he wanted. It's a who, you know. Like he wanted us too. Like, you know how humble that is. Like for God to like they can have anything to make us, and then to
Right,
promise us eternity. You know.
right.
Hmm.
And he could have just kept us wiped off the map or not ever even created us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he could have made a better version of us, you know, just okay, wipe these people out. They messed up.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get a better version, right? No, he stuck with us and gave us millions and millions of chances. I mean, if
Hmm.
like a lot of people say that like in the Old Testament, right? Oh, God was a tyrant and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, God gave people so many chances in the Bible, man. As soon he was like in front of them, and then he leaves for 5 minutes, they're worshiping a cow and they're
Yeah,
losing faith, you know? And I'm
That
like, what are
quick,
you?
man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Making golden idols and all that, you know? And, you know, even when Moses went in there and he's like, oh, no, please save these people, God, I'll take the punishment for them, you know? I'm like, oh, man, like, think about that. All these chances. And they're, oh, I want to eat meat. I wish we were back in Egypt again as slaves, you know? All
Right.
that crying, all that crying, you know? Like, think about that and all the 120 years that he gave people to get on that boat, right? Nobody ever talks about that. Now I'm going to talk about it all the time now, you know?
Right.
He gave them 120 years to repent. That's like more than a lifetime for us, right?
hmm
And that's what we got as a choice, right? Is our lifetime to make a free will decision.
Yep.
So those people that got wiped out in the flood didn't get like, you know, they didn't get screwed over. They got more time than us.
That's a good way of looking at it because they
yeah.
did, right?
Good
Yeah, they
point.
got like double, right?
And they still wouldn't. I mean, they
They
mocked and
wouldn't do
laughed
it.
and ridiculed, and man,
Yep.
that water started coming down, and they were banging on them doors, boy.
Yep.
God said, "No, no, no."
That's when it sinks in, right? And that's what's going to happen this time, just like the days of Noah, right?
hmm
Exactly.
People
Yep.
are going to be getting married and giving gifts, and Amazon's going to be delivering packages, right? And you know, all of a sudden,
Uh-huh.
you know, people are going to think peace and safety, and sudden destruction, right?
Indeed.
And then when this place gets baptized in fire, right? It's like, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? And you know, so this is what I'll say, right? I want to say, oh yeah, it's time to hit that old dusty trail.
Keep going for a
I,
minute, though. Finish up with your thought.
yeah, I wanted to thank you guys for coming on,
Oh, you're welcome.
and
Yeah.
it's always a pleasure. And you know, I like the reality of like putting out God's image the way He really is, and not just this mainstream thing. Like just how many chances He gave us, and how far He was willing to go. You know, to take actual pain and hurt for us. You know, when He could start over anytime He wanted and make like someone like 20 times better than me. You know, like a
Yeah.
million times better, just a better version of me. You know, somewhere else, right? But He stuck with us. You know. And
Yep.
so praise God for that, right? So thank you guys for coming on. It's always a pleasure. And praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory to God. He deserves it. And
Amen.
please pray for the children and anybody being victimized out there. And I will see you guys at 5 p.m. tonight.
Peace out.
Love y'all.